Here are 10 Theme Park Tycoon 2 life hacks for you. This will make you build faster, kind of just do things faster. The very first thing we have on our list out of these 10 is building hotkeys. So first we're going to go here to our building stuff, and the hotkeys for building literally help so much. If you're not using hotkeys for building, then I don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what hotkeys are, it's basically like a key on your keyboard that you use instead of having to like press a button like rotate. We just use R and it rotates for you. That's one right there. Instead of pressing this rotate button, just press R on your keyboard and it rotates so much faster. If you press control, it'll lock the column that you're in, and a column is like up and down. And so if you lock the up and down, it will just lock to that. Even if I move my mouse left and right, it will not move. It'll just lock up and down. Maybe if you want a block to be like up here or something, let's say you just want it to be like in this area and you just scoot it up by holding control. Now you can place that block there without having to like figure out how to go there. After you've held control and you just don't want it exactly there, hold shift, and now you can move it in that like height, and the height is all the rows left and right, and you just can lock it to that row. So now it won't move up and down at all. If I just hold shift, it just moves left and right. So let's say I'm building some kind of house. Let's get some walls right here. We'll press R to rotate it instead of pressing this rotate down here. Press R again, press U. U is a really important one too, because if you want to undo something that you built, U will just undo it. Let's say you want to undo this entire wall, just press U all the way until they're all gone. You don't have to actually get your destroy button. And then let's say you want to go over, but you don't want to have to like put it right on this edge right here. All you have to do is press control, move it up, and then press shift, and now you're on that column and you can't really move from this row up here. Now press R while you're holding shift, and then keep going, and it won't move up and down at all. Keep pressing R. And now let's say you want to go up one, so let's press control and we can go up one with control, hold shift again, and now we're in that one height and it will not move up and down. Now let's say you just want to do one row going up. Now you just have to hold control and just scoot it up, and it will not go left and right, just like that. So that will help you and save you a ton of time. And now the next one is something that actually kind of goes with this one. The next one is going to be using the fast destroy mode. If you go to your delete button, it would be taking so long for you just to delete every single piece by itself like this, is pressing every single time. So what you do is control shift X, and now you can just delete everything just by hovering over it. So now control shift X and you just hover over it and it deletes everything that it encounters basically. And if you want to delete any faster than that, then you can just get an auto clicker, get your destroy, and just make the auto clicker go as fast as possible. That will delete faster than control shift X, but control shift X is still a really good way to do it. Now the next one is something I actually have in this park. It's how to make money really fast. If you go onto YouTube and search up for money farms, there's so many tutorials out there for you just to make a money farm. I have my own money farm down here. Basically you just dig down and make up some paths down here. You can build this underground even if you don't have disabled collisions, so make sure to go check out those videos, and this would be really helpful for you to make money. As you can see, I'm making a ton of money right now. It's going up super fast, and I'm not even doing anything because I already just built a money farm, and now I can just build whatever I want in this plot. It also helps to get a lot of money to unlock these plots right here, since they become super expensive. Like back here, they become like at least $80,000 to unlock. So making a money farm will get you money to be able to unlock all of those plots. I'm gonna cover it up because I do have disabled collisions, but you don't have to cover your money farm up. You can just leave it open like that until the very end and then just delete it. The next tip right here, or life hack I guess, is in coasters. Let's go to coasters, and it's gonna help you to build coasters faster and better. So let's do a multi-launch, my favorite kind of coaster, I think. Yeah, probably my favorite kind of coaster. And we're gonna go to advanced editor. If you're in basic editor, I mean, it still works, but it's not as good. But for placing stations, you do want to stay in basic editor and build your station, and then go into advanced editor when you're ready to build your actual coaster. Now one thing that will save your life building these coasters is go here to this little star at the bottom and press on smooth continuous. Using smooth continuous down here will make it so you don't have to like smooth it out perfectly and place the tracks exactly where it would be smooth, but it will kind of adjust it for you if you are on the smooth continuous. So if you were to do like a super sharp turn right here, let's press Q to build that, and then another Q right here. Smooth continuous will make it so it's smooth throughout the entire turn. If I were to remake what I just made but use linear, let's see how different it would be. In continuous, it turns way more smoothly, because in linear, it's just assuming that you're already making it smooth by yourself and you just need to place the tracks that you're actually like moving. But in continuous, it'll change it for you, so then all of it kind of makes it one continuous smooth track, which is a lifesaver and will really help. And if you press U for those coasters, it'll save you a ton of time because then you can just press U instead of having to press the remove button every single time. These things kind of just save you very, very small amounts of time, but if you do it over and over again, after a long time, it'll be saving you a ton of your building time. All right, the next one I actually made an entire tutorial about. It's called custom images. And so you can make some custom images. Sometimes custom images is easier and better to make than just making the thing out of primitives. Some examples right here. I made this Super Nintendo World Park and I used a image for the entrance title. You can see that I used an image for this entrance. If I were to try to make this out of primitives, not only will it take me hours and hours, but it also won't look as good because this font is super, super hard to replicate with just building primitives. So this is a really, really good thing to do a lot of the time. And so consider using images instead of primitives some of the times when it's really, really complicated like this. And also to make your custom images, you can go check out my video on how to make custom images down below. It'll probably be either in the description or a little pop out in the top right corner right here. So make sure to go check that out if you're interested in making some custom images. I'm just going to stay into the Super Nintendo World Park because I don't really want to load my other one. But the next one is using hotkeys in sequencing. So there's so many things in sequencing that people don't even know about. Well, let's get our sequencer right here. And now let's just get some stuff like a water emitter. And let's get some water emitters. Maybe we're making some kind of water show right here. And this is our water show. So what we want to do is to add and duplicate. So let's say you wanted to add this into the sequencer. What you would usually do was press this button, press the thing, and then press it again on there. All you have to do is hold shift, press on that, and you just add it instead of having to press this button every time. So now you can just hold shift and add them super, super quickly without actually having to press the button. Now, if you wanted to duplicate it, so if you wanted 2 of these in a row, you would just hold shift, press on it, and it duplicates it by itself, and you can just adjust it, move it around as you want. And there's even like something you can copy from each one. Let's say you wanted all of these to pulse, but they're all on the on mode right here. It says on, and you want it to pulse like this one. Just hold shift, press on that, drag it to the next one, and now you can make all of them pulse. There will be some kind of like no valid target item picked. That's kind of just like a bug thing. It still works even if that warning comes up. So right here, just hold shift, press on the pulse, and drag it onto whichever one you want to copy it to. You can also do that if it changes the power. Let's say power 200, and you just shift and drag it onto this one. It copies the power of it as well. The only thing is that it won't copy the time. If you want it to be a super long time, make sure to change it to 10%, and now you can see basically the entire thing. And so if you go to like, let's say you wanted this to be time like 35, now you can see the time right here, and you can adjust it easily without having to like go in and just adjust it little by little to make it super long. And if you want to see super, super tiny details, you can go to 500%, and now you can go to the tiniest details right here into like sequencing and like timing and stuff. And now I have no idea what I just made, but let's just play whatever sequence we made right here. Oh, okay. We made a little water show. But what you would usually do is turn these off at the beginning. So what you would do is go to the emitter, go to off, and then you would grab this and paste it everywhere. So then they're all off, and when you put the sequencer in, then they turn it on. If it's already on and you turn it on, it just won't do anything. Now again, I'm gonna use my hotkey for destroy mode right here, and we're gonna just delete all of them without having to press on them individually. All right, now these next couple hacks will probably require disable collisions. If you don't have disable collisions, this next one might work for you, but it's way better if you have disable collisions. So make sure if you have disable collisions, continue watching to the end of the video. So my next tip is to use props instead of primitives. And what I mean by that is sometimes primitives are kind of hard to replicate certain things, like perfect, like circles. Sometimes it's just kind of hard to replicate some things with primitives. So it's better to just use the others and props things instead of the primitives. For example, sometimes they use dynamite just to replicate like these 3 little cylinders right here. One time I made these into like arrows, which was kind of cool. One I use a ton is this ladder. If I ever want to make a loading station, and you know those like little sections of loading stations just to get on the sections of the ride, this will help you like do those sections basically. So right here I made a super, super quick little loading station. The ride would basically be right here, and this is like the little sections for loading onto the ride, and it's super easy. So that is an important one that I use a ton. Another one that I use is a cup. And so what I mean by that is if you search up fireworks, these fireworks really just look like cups, and nothing else in this game looks like a cup, so I just use it like a cup. Sometimes in gift shops, if I want to do a cup, I just place a ton of fireworks, make sure the button goes the other way so you don't see the button, but then you would put like a primitive under here to just kind of cover the base of it, and then you would cover the base of it like this and just paint them whatever you want, and they just look like little cups for a gift shop or something. Or maybe you just want to make like a little restaurant and you want some cups on the tables. You can get really creative with these props and others, so make sure to explore all the things in here. One that I also use is there's like an anvil thing. This thing right here, this anvil, you can use as like a door handle that I've done before. So let's say I'm making a door right here, and this is my door. It's just a primitive, but let's say it's a door. Let's say there's a really big like door to my castle right there. What I would do with the anvil is just like flip it over to this side, and now this looks like literally door handles. Look at this. There are two really cool textured door handles, and I literally just placed two things. So that's one thing that will save you a lot of time. Just use props a lot of the time instead of primitives if it's something super complicated, like a door handle. Like this would probably take like 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces for each of them, where you can just place one and make a door handle. And now Control Shift X, see? So if you do Control Shift X, we can just delete all of this in like seconds, literally. The next one is actually super useful for people that have disabled collisions. Let's make like a little hill, and we're gonna make a Benji's Adventures hill, and by that I mean like a ton of rocks on it. And what people usually do, let's go to primitives and get some primitives for rocks. What people will usually do is use this primitive and just place them one by one like this. And I mean, it's working, but it's super slow. So we're placing primitives one by one. I mean, it looks good, but there is a way better way to place these primitives to make them look like rocks. So if we were to delete all these, all you have to do is go into this precision mode, but press the X right here, and now go to your settings and do no snapping for everything, and then for rotation do 25.5, or actually it's 22.5, I think. Yeah, 22.5. And now you can just use your Control and Shift and R to rotate, just like I taught you in the beginning. You can use those to just place them super fast. So you lock the height with Shift, press Control to go up and down, and place. And now I rotate it again, lock the column, lock the height, place, rotate it again, lock the column, place, lock the height, place, rotate. So now I can just build this super fast. If you get the hang of it, look how fast you can actually do this compared to before, where you had to place them one by one super slowly. And now just literally in under a minute, I have this entire mountain almost completely finished. And there we go. Now we can just paint them like the rock color to just make it look pretty. So let's go to rock, not metal plates, rock, and let's paint them rock. Let's paint some of them a little bit darker so then we have some different colors in here. And look at that, we have a detailed rock mountain like this, and we just made it in like a minute. And now we're gonna do Control Shift X. That's probably the most important one out of this entire video. Control Shift X just to destroy super fast. And now we're gonna clear our terrain right here super quickly. Okay, this next one is gonna help you so much. It just requires 100 Robux. What you can do is create a private server in Theme Park Tycoon 2. You can just do it in the homepage of Theme Park Tycoon 2 and just create a private server. There's a button, it's super big, you can't really miss it. But what you can do in private servers is go slash and then PS admin, and you can do so many things like allow free cam. And then what you can do for free cam is now move around like this, and now you can like look at things without actually having to move there. I changed my speed by going PS admin set move speed, and then I just did this little star right here to make it for everybody. And then you just do like 400 or 500 or 1000 if you really want to go that fast. And you can change your jump power, PS admin set jump power for everybody to, I did like 180, but you can do like 200 if you really wanted to. And now you can move around your build and build so much faster than before. You can also do useful things like disable the shadows. So you can disable shadows right here, so now you have no shadows and the light doesn't really create any shadows. You can enable shadows by doing enable shadows, and you can do so many other things like kick people, invite people, just do so many things with this private server. If you already have disabled collisions, this is the next big step to playing Theme Park Tycoon 2 a lot better. And now the last one, you probably already guessed it, is to buy some game passes, especially disabled collisions. Without disabled collisions, you're really limited to what you can build. And so if you were to buy any game pass, I would suggest disabled collisions. That's what makes parks so much better, and that's gonna be all of these tips. I did promise to do this at 10,000 subscribers, so here I am. I hope you liked that video. Thanks for watching it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. How do you do that? Ready?